Welcome everyone. So I'm going to be covering Granbull and Snubbull. First things first, the typing. This is not a controversial type change at all. Honestly, this is one of like maybe 10% or 20% of the changes in the hack. I think that I'd say about 20% of the type changes are something that like genuinely should have been. Um, I think that the typing is just super awesome and cool and fitting. Just looking at their designs and whatnot and their dex entries and the moves they learn and stuff, it fits very well. And they are the only fairy fighting type in the hack. Actually, sorry, there is one more. Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah. Yeah, that one's gonna be cool. But Granbull is a lot different than that one. Granbull is a lot stronger on paper, and it is a lot bulkier than it for sure. So that's cool as hell. Yeah, so it's stronger and bulkier, but it's way less fast than the other fairy fighting type is. And that other fairy fighting type is a all I'll say is that it's a legendary, so it's later in the game. So yeah, Granbull here. Granbull's super awesome. Fairy fighting dual stab is some of the best dual stab in the entire game. Great combination. Obviously, it doesn't hit like poison and stuff, but you have tons of coverage to hit that. You have strong jaw psychic fangs, you have Zen headbutt, you have earthquake, you have seismic fist, you have bulldoze, you have all those great megaton kick, all those great coverage to hit those poison types and stuff. And tons of other great coverage. So before I get into things, the abilities are very, 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 very self-explanatory and very fitting. So Strong Jaw boosts 7 moves by 50%. It essentially gives Granbull stab on 7 really, really powerful coverage moves. Those moves are Psychic Fangs, which is 85 base power, Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, and Poison Fang, which are 75 base power. And those are by TM. Once you reach a Call Island, you'll be able to buy those TMs. The second you reach a Call Island, it's in the first city, I think. What's Heya City? Is that what it's called? And then Crunch and Jagged Fangs are once you evolve. So, what was my... Okay. Crunch and Jagged Fangs once you evolve. Crunch and Jagged Fangs are both dark and rock type versions of Psychic Fangs, so they're all 85 base power. So that's amazing. Truly amazing. You get stab on those, so that's a great ability. Your other ability is Intimidate on both of them. Intimidate is something they already had. Intimidate is something they kind of need because they are bulky. Like, 80, 85, 80 is bulky. You have access to reliable recovery with Slack off and stuff. But and you have tons of utility with moves like Leer and Scary Face. Scary Face is -2 speed, -1 attack. Leer is -2 defense. Charm is obviously -2 attack. All that kind of stuff is really awesome. So it's nice to have that with Intimidate sets. It's also nice to use like Intimidate plus Parting Shot, Intimidate plus U-Turn. That kind of thing is awesome. Intimidate plus Drain Punch plus Assault Vest is a very good set for sure. Because you get that, you get that slow healing, you get that that bulk from the Assault Vest, and you get that bulk from Intimidate. I think that you're going to be running you're going to be wanting to run Assault Vest if you're not running a fast set or a priority or Scarf. Granbull also has a great 82 base speed tier now. I think it fits pretty well given their design. Obviously, anything over like 85 or 90 is kind of a reach at that point, but I think 82 was very fair, given their bulk and the sheer power of that they hold. Oops, is this already? Oh, okay, sorry, I just got a notification from CVS. They do have access to dual stab priority and other priority moves. So at level 5, like most Pokemon in this hack, they start off with priority moves. So Snubbull has Faerie Blow, which is a 50 base power fairy type priority move, and then at level once they evolve at level 28, they get access to Mach Punch as Granbull as well, so you get dual stab right there. And then you also have access to Sucker Punch via TM and First Impression via TM. First Impression is amazing coverage and is great to run on certain sets. You can always switch that on and off. Same with Sucker Punch. You can toggle between those moves and all your other TMs at will and reteach them whenever you want, which is awesome. You can't do that with Mach Punch and Faerie Blow though, so you gotta keep that in mind. You also have access to Smelling Salt, which is a priority move now. Smelling Salts is a very unique move. Smelling Salt and Wake Up Slap are both 1 PP moves that have +4 priority, so they are the same priority as moves like First Impression, and they always flinch. So Fake Out does prioritize all of these just because I feel like Fake Out getting outsped by any move besides like Protect and shit is kind of cursed. So Fake Out does prioritize these moves, but these moves are still great and they will always flinch, and you can use those whenever you want. So that actually can be used on any turn, not just the first turn. So that's like the advantage. So the pro is that you can use it whenever you want. The con is that it only has 1 PP versus Fake Out you can cycle in and out of. So you got to keep that in mind. Also, Smelling Salts still has the effect of doubling if it's paralyzed, so you can use Thunder Wave plus Smelling Salts if you would desire. You could like T-Wave, Hoodwink, Paraflinch them, and then once they're low, you can click Smelling Salts and kill them off, which is pretty cool. Hoodwink has a 30% chance to flinch if you are not familiar. It's Fairy type Iron Head, so yeah, that's really awesome. That's all your priority moves, and of course you're going to be taking great advantage of those because you do have a good base 82 speed tier, but at the end of the day, like with your dual stabs and your attack stat, like you're going to want priority moves on Granbull for sure. At least one, I would say. Like at least run Sucker Punch, so that's really awesome for them. And of course, with their base 82 speed, they can run stuff like Choice Scarf very well, actually extremely well. They're a very good Choice Scarf user. And of course, you can still run a bulky set, so you can always switch your EVs and your abilities. So in this hack, you do have access to infinite usability capsules and infinite and instantaneous EV training. So you can always just swap your EV spreads, and you should be actually swapping your EV spreads for each fight. So say, for example, for this boss fight, you need a bulkier set. You want to run max HP, max attack, assault vest with Drain Punch. Okay, go ahead and run that. You next fight, you need to be fast, so you're going to run Choice Scarf with max speed instead. Okay, run that. Oh, and now you need Strong Jaw Choice Scarf. You need Strong Jaw Psychic Fangs to take out this Pokemon or whatever. So that's awesome. And also, I didn't mention, but with Strong Jaw, Psychic Fangs, Crunch, and Jagged Fangs become 128 base power, and then Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Thunder Fang, and Poison Fang all become, I believe, 112 base power. So that is a great tool. It's super awesome, super great coverage moves. And of course, you have other coverage moves that are not Strong Jaw boosted. So you have lots of rock coverage, lots of ground coverage, lots of steel coverage, psychic coverage, dark coverage. You have Ghost with Shadow Punch, which is 80 base power. All of these moves are like slightly buffed or massively buffed, but I'm not going to waste time going through all of them because you can already see that you have most of those types covered by the Fangs anyways, but it's always nice to have the stronger options on Intimidate sets, for example, and have it as stronger than Psychic Fangs, that kind of deal. Power-Up Punch is a great move on them as well, so you can run like Assault Vest, Power-Up Punch, Drain Punch type deal with like Faerie Blow for priority or Sucker Punch for priority, and then you can run, a filler move. So that's awesome. Again, Intimidate Parting Shot is a great combo because you can get that Intimidate, and then you can, it's Blickwood and Cineroid does in VGC kind of, obviously a lot of Pokemon, pretty much all Intimidate Pokemon have access to Parting Shot. Actually, yeah, probably literally every single one does Intimidate with that Parting Shot by TM now. So that's cool. And again, that does really help patch up your bulk because on paper, your bulk is good. Don't get me wrong. It's solid. 80, 85, 80 is solid, but it's not like amazing. So you are going to want to, run Intimidate for bulkier sets. Strong Jaw would mostly be more for if you're outspeeding whatever you need to hit. So if, for example, either with Scarf or with Agility, you also have access to Agility, you can run that on certain sets. So say, for example, this trainer has a base. Like, okay, for example, I'm going to go to Speed Tier Guide, and you can see Granbull actually has a great Speed Tier. It outspeeds mons like Gyarados and Nidoqueen and Arbok, Hypno, Hypnomagnezone, all these mons. It outspeeds them by 1 or 2 points, and of course it outspeeds everything below that. And then with a Choice Scarf, it outspeeds like everything. It's very fast. So you can totally run like Strong Jaw Thunderfang to kill this Gyarados instead of Intimidate. You might want the Thunderfang boost instead of Thunder Punch. Obviously, it's a little bit, let's say that you're getting intimidated. Say that, well, actually, you don't have Intimidate anymore, so bad analogy, but hope you guys understand the point is that, Intimidate isn't always the best ability. You are going to want Strong Jaw sometimes. And the best thing is you can always swap between your abilities. It's not just pick one ability and keep it. It's swap between them. That's the ideal strategy. Obviously, play however you want. If you want to keep one ability the whole game, that's more power to you, but you are definitely putting yourself at a disadvantage by doing that. So yeah, Snubbull is a little bit stronger, a lot faster, and slightly bulkier overall, despite losing a little bit of HP. HP is based more on size now, by the way, which is why I dropped their HP, because they aren't that large, and they're not really that fat either, so I just figured keep their, drop their HP to more of a, base 80 is still above average. Base 80 is still an above average HP stat, so that's really nice. Oh, man, I'm so hungry. You have lots of great utility, like I said. You have good stab, like Skirmish drops attack by 1 at 70 base power. You also have really cool stuff like Holdback for stab. So, oh yeah, Physical Fairy stab. So Physical Fairy moves, I have tons of new Physical Fairy moves now. You have Play Rough by TM, which is 110 base power recoil move that has a 50% chance to drop attack and is 110 base power, 20% recoil. You can actually use a really good Shell Bell set on Granbull if you don't want to take recoil damage, because Shell Bell now heals you by 20% of the damage you deal. So you can run Play Rough, Take Down, Wild Charge, and Rock Climb. All 4 of those moves are recoil. And all 4 of those deal 20% recoil, so you're essentially negating the recoil damage, so you just have really strong moves. Obviously, you might want a boosting item, or you have tons of other items you need, so it's not the best thing, but let's say you just need to not take recoil for a specific boss fight, and you outspeed everything naturally, or you have sticky webs on your team or something, you know, to speed control Pokemon, you know, then you can totally, yeah, that's another thing is Granbull really thrives under webs, for sure. And lots more mons get webs now, so that's cool if you don't want to run Scarf or priority. Although you would always, like, no matter what, you'll always have priority by TM, you'll always have Sucker Punch and First Impression, even if you happen to delete Faerie Blow and Mach Punch, so that's awesome. And Sucker Punch is just as strong as Stab, Faerie Blow, and stronger than Stab, Mach Punch. It is a later TM, however, it is, you know, once you before you get to Maui City, after you beat Olivia, you'll get access to Sucker Punch. But what am I trying to say here? Jesus. I just lost my train of thought completely. I'm so hungry, dude. I need to eat. Oh yeah, setup, I was gonna say. So you also have access to Bulk Up and Swords Dance. Bulk Up with Intimidate is great, Bulk Up with Strong Jaw is great, Swords Dance plus Sucker Punch or Faerie Blow or Mach Punch is amazing. That's one of the best things you can run for sure. Like for setup, obviously, you know, you're always gonna want to set up. Setup is actually a lot harder to pull off now. And that only has 1 PP on Swords Dance, 3 PP on Bulk Up. So you can run like Bulk Up, Drain Punch, or Bulk Up, Slack Off if you want. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of good coverage moves. Strong Fairy Stab. So yeah, hold back. I'll hold back. So you have Hoodwink, which is just reliable. You have Play Rough by TM. You have Meteor Mash at 43, which is 95% accurate, 95 base power, and has a 1 in 4 chance to boost your attack stat, which is good. I would prefer Hoodwink personally for the consistency. But Granbull is a bulkier Pokemon, so you can probably get away with missing a move or two. So it's not the end of the world if you miss, but I would prefer 100% accurate. Unless you're running Wide Lines, in which case it's a great option. What am I trying to say? Reversal is really good. You can run like Endure, Reversal, Lychee Berry sets, or Slack Berry is probably better to get that speed boost with Endure. Endure is a TM, so you can always just slap Endure on your Granbull once you learn Reversal at 37 and run that for a boss fight and sweep them. You know, that's an awesome option for sure. All right, I am gonna have to end this video soon. So, so I was just checking my phone. You have Z-Roar. Z-Roar will give you +2 attack. And Roar now is a priority move. And don't panic because it only has 1 PP. So it's a 1 PP, but it's priority. So you can instantly switch something out. And with Z move, with the Dark EMZ, you basically just get a free +2 attack. So it's like a Swords Dance without the risk in exchange for your Z move. So that's a very, very good trade-off right there. I would definitely run that with like priority moves and stuff. You have access to Power Trip, which can be really good with like bulk up sets, like bulk up Power Trip. Power Trip has a 3 PP, but it gives you +1 attack each time you use it, so you can use that with like bulk up, Drain Punch, Power Trip type deal, Power Up Punch. You know, you can really start to boost your attack up. You can also run that with priority moves like Sucker Punch and Mach Punch and stuff, Faerie Blow, etc. You know, you have Powerful Stab like Super Power and Submission being recoil, and dropping your defenses, 150 base power. Kerfuffle is a funny move. It's a fairy type outrage, which is good for late game. I personally am not a fan of the moves that lock you in, but I figured physical fairy types can have access to Kerfuffle. It's not a big deal. You know, if you prefer to run out over Play Rough, I would prefer Play Rough, but you know, it is 10 points. Excuse me, it is 10 points stronger than Play Rough, and technically it doesn't give, you know, it doesn't have the drawback of recoil, but Play Rough has a good additional effect and is more consistent and reliable, so I would prefer that. But you know, Kerfuffle's still a great option. Payback's cool. It's 120 base power now. A negative priority. What else is there? Oh yeah, hold back. Hold back will give you a +1 attack and accuracy boost in exchange for not knocking out the opponent. So that is weaker than Faerie Blow. It's 45 base power. But what you can do is you can run like Charm or Scary Face on the opponent, get them to like to the point where they're dealing no damage to you, and you can click hold back 5 times without knocking them out, and then you'll get +5 attack for free. Because if you use Power Up Punch to do that, you're actually not going to be in a very good spot. Because Power Up Punch can knock them out after a couple uses, and then you're going to lose the stat drops that you put on the opponent. So like hold back plus like Power Trip, for example, is a great combo for sure. You can use hold back and you can finish them off the Power Trip, get another +1 attack. Although maybe using Power Trip there would actually be a waste of the PP, but you understand the idea. Yeah, I don't know, not too much else to cover, just tons of great coverage moves. Great speed tier for Scarf, for agility, for webs, good bulk with Intimidate and Assault Vest and stuff. Super cool, super fun to use. A really good offensive and defensive Pokemon. Yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, it evolves slightly later. So yeah, just for balancing reasons. And again, Snubbull is totally fine until 28, so yeah. bulky with intimidate, strong with strong jaw. Pun not intended. Yeah. I really do hope that this video was informative and enjoyable for you. If you like this kind of thing and you're new here, hit subscribe. I was just gonna say that corny ass YouTuber thing where they say hit that subscribe button, but it would actually help if you subscribe and like the video, leave a comment. That kind of stuff really does help the algorithm. Helps more people get recommended my videos, and then that's all I really ask for is people to for my work to get exposure. That's what I would appreciate. So you can always do that. You can also find all of these changes for all my other Pokemon so far in the Google Sheets below. You can look at those changes yourself firsthand. So that's awesome. And you can also join my Discord server. Feel free to do that. You could talk to me in there. You could play my other hack in there, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I know I did. It was super cool, man. If this stream would end, please. Oh god, it froze. Hopefully you. Hopefully, can I really not?